Hello, it is I. Now let's talk about the United Kingdom, home to the first ever hypercar, the Great British B-Roads, Top Gear and the pinnacle of motorsport Formula 1. For a nation with such a legendary history of motorsport and cars, you'd expect it to be the car guy's dream to live here, but it is the complete opposite. So today I'll be going through 5 annoying things about being a car guy in the UK. Now before we get into this video, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you are new around here. We are trying to hit 200k by summer this year, so any help would be greatly appreciated. Also, let's try and hit 4,000 likes on this video. It's been a while since I set a like goal, so let's just try and hit that one. Thank you very much, and now let's get into number 1. The driving test. In the UK, you can start taking driving lessons at 17, and with driving lessons here, it's pretty much mandatory that you learn in a manual car. There are a few driving instructors that primarily focus on automatic cars, but the vast majority of us, probably 95%, learn to drive in manual cars, which is good if you're a car guy. The lessons can be quite daunting, however, seeing as the instructor is very strict with mirror checks, never going above the speed limit, and the roads are super narrow, so it constantly feels like you're gonna crash into every car you drive by. But you do get used to all of that pretty quick. Now before you take your driving test, you need to take a theory test. It costs £23 to take, and if you fail then you need to pay to take it again. You need to get at least 43 out of 50 questions right to pass it, and there's a hazard perception part of the test too. Thankfully I passed both of them first time, but this was after intense revision doing 2 mock tests a day a month prior to the test. And only after you passed your theory test can you take a practical test, which is slightly more complicated than it is in the USA. You need to pay £63 to take your practical test, and again if you fail then you need to pay the full price to take it again. However, unlike in the USA where driving tests are around 20 minutes long with easy maneuvers like reversing in a straight line for a couple of yards, in the UK driving tests are around 40 minutes and contain maneuvers like parallel parking, reversing into a bay, doing a 3-point turn, reversing around a corner, etc, etc. And they are very unforgiving with faults too. If you make 1 or 2 minor faults like forgetting to check your mirrors, you'll probably get away with it. But if you make 1 major fault, then that is your driving test finished. It's an instant fail and you need to pay the full £63 to retake it. Even for something as stupid as somebody else cutting you off and brake testing you, you're the one who has to pay for the retake, which is why a lot of people book their tests during times where there aren't as many cars on the road. However, when you do pass, it's time to buy your first car. Now in places like the USA, for a first car you'd be looking for something that's safe, or fun, or practical, or economical, etc, etc. However, in the UK, for a first car you look for one thing and one thing only: cheap insurance, which explains the whole stereotype about British teenagers only driving Clios, Fiestas and Corsas as their first car, because they're fairly affordable cars to insure. Granted, you're probably going to be paying more for the insurance than the actual car itself, but it is what it is. Welcome to the UK, where you get scammed for everything apart from healthcare. You could save some money on insurance on your first car by getting a black box, but that is an automatic L as a car guy. It's like having a computerized driving instructor which monitors how fast you drive, how hard you brake, how high you rev. It's just very embarrassing. And if you do end up speeding a little bit or accelerating too hard, then you'll struggle to get insured on your next car as it goes on your record as a driver. So why is insurance such a big problem in the UK? Why do young Brits complain about it all the time? Well, that brings me nicely to my next point: expensive insurance. I'ma just say this: car insurance is a scam, especially in the UK. If you're a young driver, you will most definitely be paying more for the insurance than you did for your own car, if your car was anything less than £2,000. So what happens if you buy a supercar when you're 21 years old? How much would that be to insure? Well, KSI bought his Lamborghini Aventador when he was 21, and he paid £60,000 a year to insure it. That's a first-gen Lamborghini Gallardo every single year for insurance. It's mad. I mean, there's a rapper from the UK called H. He's done songs with Ed Sheeran, Stormzy, Tay Keith. He's a pretty big deal, becoming a millionaire at 20 years old. Now, US rappers with this sort of money would be living in mansions with a couple of supercars casually chilling on their driveway. But what does H drive?
I got an A3 Saloon, a black one, but I had to get the smaller engine than the biggest engine.
Yep, imagine being a millionaire rapper but owning a 1.5 litre Audi A3. He even complained about it in one of his songs, saying young and rich but the engine's big so they won't insure me. So yep, insurance is a huge restriction with being a car guy in the UK. I mean, if you want to dash out 60 grand a year to insure a supercar like KSI did, then be my guest. It won't be impossible, just insanely expensive. However, if you're thinking of modifying your car, that is a whole nother story. Legally, you're required to declare any changes you make to your car. I mean, if you change your wheels, you need to tell your insurance company and they'll increase your quote. Sounds pretty normal, right? Well, the same thing applies for roof racks, parking sensors, dash cams, and even sat navs. If you don't tell your insurance company that you have a TomTom in your car, then your insurance is void and you cannot legally drive your car, which I just find crazy. But it brings me nicely to my next point. Car legality. Unlike in certain states in America where you can straight pipe your 5-litre V8 Mustang, have a nitrous injected engine and casually have a parachute on the back, in the UK there are strict laws of what you can and cannot do to your car. For example, it is required by law that every car has at least 2 exhaust silencers. It's required by law that your windscreen and front windows don't have any tint on them. It's required by law that you don't put underglow on your car. And even though I think the UK number plate is the best looking number plate out there, it's required by law that every car has to wear one on the rear and the front. Now don't get me wrong, it can look good on some cars, but it looks appalling on others. I mean, the Ferrari 458 looks beautiful in the States with no front plate, but in the UK it looks like this. It's so out of place. Same with the Aventador. It looks super aggressive and menacing in the USA, but in the UK it has this huge number plate ruining the aesthetic. And again with the Aston Martin Vantage, this is what it looks like in the States and this is what it looks like in the UK. I mean, motorcycles don't require a front plate here, so I'm not sure why all cars have to, so it is pretty annoying. I wish they could update it so that cars can look much better on the streets of the UK, but laws are laws and I guess we all have to abide them. Expensive housing. Houses in the UK are very expensive. They make American healthcare look cheap. Unlike in the USA where you can buy a pretty decent house with 4 bedrooms and a garage for around $500,000, in the UK it's a whole different story. Take a look at this 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in London, the one with a white door. Take a guess how much it's worth. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're wrong. It's £750,000, which is over $1 million US, and it doesn't even have a garage. So what's house prices got anything to do with being a car guy? Well, it means a lot of car guys in the UK don't have access to garages, which can get very annoying, especially when doing bodywork repairs on your car. Painting your car in the wind is a very bad idea. And not only isn't there a place to work on your car, but leaving your car outside will make it vulnerable to theft. And boy, are there a lot of car thefts in the UK. People really underestimate British criminals because they're British and they sip tea and they live like the Queen and listen to Mozart. However, there have been many cases of supercars being left on the driveway of terraced houses being stolen by gangs in very graphic ways. There are a lot of these videos on YouTube. I don't want to get demonetized for showing them here. Now, although a lot of us don't have personal protection from these thieves, the police do a pretty good job of stopping them and putting them behind bars. But it's still pretty annoying the lack of garages in the UK, especially as a car guy. Anyways, I feel like I've been slating the UK and pushing away car guys from visiting this place, so it's only right that I mention some positive stuff to lighten up this video. In the UK, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, meaning our cars are right-hand drive, which meant Japan could export cars to the UK and we can drive them like how we drive UK cars. In fact, the UK made UKDM R33 and 34 GTRs. So unlike in America where if you see a Skyline GTR it's most likely JDM, in the UK it's mainly UKDM. It's much more common to see these sort of cars too. We also have a lot of manual cars. Unlike in the USA where if you get into a car, 9 times out of 10 it's an automatic, in the UK it'll be a manual. Of course automatic cars do exist here too, but Brits don't really opt for them. We also have very nice police officers. Unlike in America where if you get pulled over for dark tints, the officer is like, "Here's where I can see them. Don't make any erratic movements. Oh no, he reached for his driver's license. Let me pull out my 9mm. UK police don't do that. I mean, so corrupt police officers do exist, but British police officers are usually much more professional and don't resort to being aggressive and stubborn all the time. So you don't have to fear for your life when you're pulled over by police in the UK. So if you're not about that obedient life and you prefer to drive away, then good luck with that. They have Audi S3s and M140i's in the force now. And finally, with older cars, there's no law stopping you from importing them into the country. So you could practically import any car you want into the country as long as it's not new. So although we won't be getting the 400Z, at least we can import an AutoZam AZ1. So there's no need to complain. And that is the end of the video. Now just before you guys go, did you know that over half of you guys watching are not subscribed? That is a major violation. So if you're one of them, then make sure to join the family down below and subscribe to the channel. Also, let's try and hit 4,000 likes on this video. I wasn't planning on recording a video today because I was feeling really sick and lightheaded and I just felt really unhealthy. So yeah, leaving a like would be greatly appreciated. Comment down below any other future video ideas that you would like me to make and I will catch up with you guys very soon. Until next time, have a good one guys, stay safe, stay inside, until next time, cheers.
I never stacked lots, bro was in that trap moving crack rocks. I was bunking off school meeting mummy next to trap spots. And bro, she never had a clue, Jid, I don't wanna be like me, cause I just wanna be like you.